Hello friends, welcome to Maths Tutor. Today we will be discussing three most important theorem in chapter 1 real numbers CBSE 10 Maths. That is 1.5, 1.6 and 1.7. In the previous videos we had a detailed discussion of Euclid's lemma, fundamental theorem, rational, irrational numbers, LCM and HCF, etc. Now we will have a different approach towards rational numbers and irrational numbers. So that is why it is called revisiting rational numbers. Before going to the topic, we will have a general discussion on number system, real numbers, imaginary numbers, rational, irrational, fractions, integers, etc. The entire number system is divided into two sections. One is real numbers, another one is imaginary numbers. This portion we are not going to touch now because that is beyond the scope of our discussion now. So we are interested only in real numbers. Okay, real numbers can be divided again into two sections. What are they? One, rational numbers and another irrational numbers. What is rational number? We have discussed in the previous videos. A rational number is defined as a number of the form p by q, where p and q are integers, p and q are integers in its lowest term, and q is not equal to 0. For example, we have 1.5, 2 by 3, 0, 100, etc. What about irrational number? Those numbers which are not rational, they are irrational numbers. For example, root 2, 3 root 5, root 5 plus 1, etc. etc. Rational numbers we are again dividing into fractions and integers. Integers we are again dividing into positive integer, negative integer and 0. Positive integers and 0 we are calling together as whole numbers. So this is the number system. Now today we are concentrating on this particular portion only, rational numbers. Okay. So rational numbers. Rational numbers again divided into two sections. One is terminating. Second one is non-terminating but recurring. Let us see examples. Terminating rational number, say 5, 5, 0.5, 0.25, 0.375, 0.0875, 0.104, etc. What about non-terminating? 0.1122, 1122, etc. 2.5656, etc. So these numbers are also rational numbers. So it can be either terminating or non-terminating recurring. Okay, let us see whether these numbers follows our definition. Our non-definition is a rational number. So let us see what is happening to these numbers. 5 we know it is already 5 can be written as 5 divided by 1. So it is following the rule P by Q where P and Q are integers in lowest term and Q is not equal to 0. What about 0.5? Yes, 0.5 can be written as 5 divided by 10 is equal to 1 divided by 2, again of the form P by Q where Q is equal to Q is not equal to 0. 0.25, 25 by 100 is equal to 1 by 4. Okay, 0.375, 375 divided by 1000 is equal to, how many times you can cut here? 25, 6, 7. 9 times 25 here 40. So 9 divided by 40. So 3.375 is equal to 375 divided by 1000, which is equal to 15 divided by 40, which is equal to 3 divided by 8. 0.104 again can be written as 104 divided by 1000, which is equal to 4, you can cut 26 divided by 100,000 divided by 4 is equal to 250 is equal to 13 divided by 125. Do you find anything special in these numbers? I mean the denominators. 1 by 2 I can write as 1 by 2 raised to 1. 1 by 4 I can write as 1 by 2 raised to 2. This I can write as 3 divided by 2 raised to 3. 13 divided by 125 I can write as 13 divided by 5 raised to 3. Take another number 0.6. 0.6 is equal to 6 divided by 10 is equal to 3 divided by 5. 0.06, 6 divided by 100, which is equal to 3 divided by 50, which is equal to 3 divided by 5 square into 2. Okay. Do you find anything interesting in this? Yes, the denominators are either power of 2 or power of 5 or both. So here in this case it is a power of 2, second case it is 2 square, third 2 cube, fourth one 5 raised to 3, again here 5 to the power of 1, and in this case it is combination of 5 square and 2. There is no factor other than 5 or 2 in this. That is interesting thing. So how can you conclude? You take any decimal number like this and you will land up in a similar result only. So what can we conclude? We can conclude that any terminating decimal expression will have its denominator of the form 2 raised to n into 5 raised to m, where n and m are any positive integers. This particular result can be expressed as a theorem, and that theorem is theorem 1.5 here, theorem 1.5 in the first chapter. So that we are going to state now. Okay, now we have considered terminating only. So we will concentrate now terminating, then we will come back to this section. Okay, now we have these results in front of us. 0.5 is equal to 1 by 2, 0.25 is equal to 1 by 2 square, 0.375 is equal to 3 by 2 cube, 0.104 is equal to 13 divided by 5 cube, 0.6 is equal to 3 divided by 5, 0.06 is equal to 3 divided by 5 square into 2. So what we have seen now, all these terminating numbers will have denominator either power of 2 or power of 5 or both. Is the process reversible? Can we move back from here to here? Yes, that is possible. So what we have to do? See, we have to count how many 2's are here. How many 2's are here? Only 1. So we have to multiply with 1 5. So 1 by 2, 1 5 we are multiplying here. Why 1 5? Because here only 1 2 is there. So when you are multiplying the denominator, you have to multiply the numerator also. So what you are getting? 5 divided by 10. 5 divided by 10 is equal to 0.5. So we are reversing the process. Okay. Second example, 1 by 2 raised to 2. So 1 by 2 raised to 2. How many 2's are here? 2 2's are here. So I will multiply with 5 square. When I multiply with 5 square, denominator I have to do same thing in the numerator. So I am getting 25 divided by 4 into 25 is equal to 25 by 100 is equal to 0.25. Again, reverse. What about this fellow? 3 divided by 2 cube. Yes, here there are 3 2's, so I have to multiply with 3 5's. So 5 cube in the numerator and denominator. So 3 into 5 cube is equal to 125, 2 cube is equal to 8, 8 into 125 is equal to 1000. That is 375 divided by 1000 is equal to 0.375. Good. 13 divided by 5 cube, repeating the same process. Here 3 5's are there, but I want an equal number of 2's also. So 2 cube I am multiplying here. Here also 2 cube. So 13 into 8 divided by 5 into 2, 10. 10 cube is equal to 1000. So this is 104 divided by 1000 is equal to 0.104. Okay, 6 is equal to 3 divided by 5. Repeating the same process. So 5, only 1 5 is here. I am multiplying with the 1 2 here. 6 divided by 10, I am getting 0.6. Here 3 divided by 5 square into 2. Okay, interesting. Here 2 5's are there, but only 1 2 is there. But we require an equal number of 2's and 5's. So we have to multiply 1 2 here. So 3 divided by 5 square into 2 into 2. 1 2 I am taking extra. So I have to multiply in the numerator also. So that is equal to 6 divided by 5 square 25 into 4 is equal to 100, that is equal to 0.06. Interesting. This is what theorem 1.5 says. What is 1.5? Let x be a rational number whose decimal expansion terminates. Then x can be expressed in the form p by q, where p and q are co-prime, and the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 raised to n into 5 raised to m, where n and m are non-negative integers. Here there is one word which we have not discussed. What is that? Co-prime. What do you mean by co-prime? Two numbers are co-prime means they are prime to each other. Both of the numbers need not be prime number. So for example, 8 and 5. 8 and 5, they do not have any common factor, but they are prime to each other. So these numbers are called co-prime numbers. So this is the explanation of theorem 1.5. And this is the explanation of theorem 1.6. Using the same numbers, we have proved both the theorems 1.5 and 1.6. So what is theorem 1.6 telling? Let x is equal to p by q be a rational number such that the prime factorization of q is of the form 2 raised to n into 5 raised to m, where n and m are non-negative integers. Then x has a decimal expansion which terminates. Yes. So that is what we have proved here. If x is equal to p by q of the form 2 raised to m into 5 raised to n, then x has a decimal expansion which terminates. So all these cases you can see it is terminating to decimal expansion. In all these cases, this decimal expansion is terminating. Okay, now we are coming to the original page, where rational numbers we are divided into terminating and non-terminating. So this particular branch we have fully explained now. What about this non-terminating and recurring? That we will see now. Consider the example 0.3333 etc. etc. What you can tell about this number? Yes, it is non-terminating and recurring. So same number is repeating and it is not terminating. Can we prove that this is a rational number? Yes, we will try. So we will try x is equal to this number. What is 10x? 10x is equal to 3.33 etc. This is 1, this is 2. What is 2 minus 1? 2 minus 1 will give you 9x is equal to 3. Why? This decimal fractions getting cancelled, subtracted. So 9x is equal to 3 means x is equal to 3 by 9, that is equal to 1 by 3. So 0.03333 can be expressed in the form of 1 by 3, where 1 and 3 are integers, 3 not equal to 0, satisfying the condition for rational numbers. So, take another example. Say 1 by 7. 1 by 7, you know that if you divide 1 by 7, you will get 142857, again 142857, etc. etc. Can we do the reverse process here? Can we come back to 1 by 7 from this? We will try. X is equal to 142857, 142857, etc. etc. How many numbers are there occurring? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So x into 10 raised to 6 is equal to 142857.142857 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7, etc. So x into 10 raised to 6 minus x is equal to 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7. So what is the value of x? X you can take outside here. 10 raised to 6 minus 1 is equal to 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7 means x is equal to 1, 4, 2, 8, 5, 7 divided by 10 raised to 6 minus 1. What is 10 raised to 6 minus 1? So 9,99,999. So this is equal to 142857 divided by 9 6 times. Yes, that is the easy way to remember. Okay. So what you can tell about this number? This is not in the form of 2 raised to n into 5 raised to m. But this is a rational number. So this rational number is non-terminating, but it is recurring. So this is coming as theorem 1.7. What theorem 1.7 says? Let x is equal to p by q be a rational number such that prime factorization of q is not of the form 2 raised to n into 5 raised to m. For example, this case and this case. Then x has a decimal expansion which is non-terminating but recurring. See, this is non-terminating, recurring. Here also it is non-terminating, recurring. Okay friends, so today we have discussed the 3 theorems in the first chapter. I think that is the last 3 theorems in the chapter. Okay. Theorem 1.5, 1.6 and 1.7. So in the next video we will go to the related exercise 1.4. That is the last exercise in the chapter. Thank you.